we are looking at a second aspect of biometric registration in the Volta region. And with me, to review what is going on, to my immediate left, Honorable Petit Haliga, who is the Constituency Secretary for the Ketu South constituency, as the MPP Constituency Secretary for Ketu South. And next to him is Pius Enam Hadide, who is the parliamentary candidate for Ketu North constituency. So we have Ketu North and Ketu South, right along the coast, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest vote gainers for the NDC in times past. Hopefully not this time. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So you are petite and you are pious. You are comfortable with that. I know you are both honorable men, so I don't want to. Now, if I may start with you, Pius, what is the state of Ketu North constituency now, generally? We've had 30 days of registration.
Well, thank you very much, YB. Before I get there, let me use this opportunity to congratulate your good self. We have been informed that you have been nominated or appointed as the spokesperson to our vice presidential candidate, the next vice president in waiting, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I want to congratulate you. It's a post well deserved. I mean, you have proved your worth as a communicator. I am excited that it is you who will be speaking amongst all of us for Dr. Bawumia. But Dr. Bawumia, I'm sure you know, will not be too difficult to represent. He's a man of very high standards, and so I wish you well in your new job as the spokesperson for the next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana.
Pius, I can't help but thank you for that high endorsement, not only for the vice presidential candidate, but for the idea that definitely after the elections in 2013, we are looking at swearing in a new presidential office.
That's right.
And I see it as a presidential office.
That's
the vice president is necessarily a part of the president. And I believe my role here will be to help him to aid the candidate, Nanado, to realize his dream. But thank you very much for the endorsement. You are making my head swell.
The pleasure is ours. The pleasure is ours. Well, before I also want to use the opportunity to say a very good evening to our cherished listeners, particularly the people of the Volta region, especially the good people of the Ketu North constituency. Miato, miawile doji, miawe domum, domanya wanao. So jantona tuchinami. YB, you talk about the state of the registration in my constituency, the Ketu North, after 30 days. I can report that generally we could describe the registration in the Ketu North as peaceful, particularly due to the matured manner in which opposition parties, particularly the New Patriotic Party, have conducted themselves. But I also want to put on record that we have been ably assisted by the other minority or opposition parties, i.e. the PNC, the PPP, and then the CPP. Left to the NDC alone, the Volta region would have been more chaotic than it is. So I want to use the opportunity to also congratulate our colleagues in the other opposition parties who have fought the salvation fight alongside with us. Wow. The situation now is that so far, quite a good number of the people of the constituency have registered. About 31,000 people have registered. We anticipate that the figures have begun to reduce because you are aware that there was a certain rush during particularly the first phase and the second phase. The third phase, along most of, as we were on our rounds and visiting the various polling stations, you can clearly see that the enthusiasm had went down a little. The people who had rushed to the polling stations earlier on, there's less pressure on the polling stations now. But, YB, it is important that we talk about some of the difficulties that we have faced. First of all, I want to talk about a few incidents, and these are not isolated. We just may not have the pleasure of time to go through the litany of election irregularities that are being perpetrated by the NDC and its operatives.
I'm sure you can give us a fair idea.
Oh, I could give you a volume on what is happening, but because we don't have the pleasure of time, I'll just go through a few with you. In my own constituency, during the last batch, this 10 days that we just finished a few days ago,
yes,
I would give you an instance where the district chief executive of my district, Honorable Kofi Lawson, and the NDC constituency chairman, Mr. Moses Azaglu, on their own, and these are confessions they made to all of us at a particular police station that I'll talk to you now about. They went into Togo on their own to procure registration materials.
Registration materials in Togo?
That's right. And they brought it to the polling station. You know what happens is that from time to time there's a shortage of one form, or say the laminate or something. And then the special duties officer, the registration official in charge of special duties, has to go to the district electoral office to ask for fresh supplies.
That's right.
And until that is done, there's a temporary hold up. Okay. So when people come to register, they are told that please hold the line. We have run out of supplies. Our officer has gone to the station to bring new supplies, so hold the line. Sometimes, some people would prefer to go home and come back, or maybe go back to work and come back. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, the NDC, led by no other person than the president's representative in the district, on their own, felt that for 24 hours running, or from 7 in the morning to 6 in the morning, the registration official should not even drink water. So there should not be any little stoppage in the process. So when this report was made that there was a shortage in some of the materials, they themselves went into Togo. We didn't know where they even brought it, but they themselves told us. We were there. Our agents called us in that we should come and see something. The DCE and the NDC chairman brought in registration materials.
Yes, but this is a registration confined to Ghana, and the material is supposed to have been procured by the government of Ghana. So is it in the same form? Is it identical? Are they materials that can be inserted into our electoral process?
Well, they are not in the same form. There are differences. This is the laminate that the Electoral Commission has provided for use. What the district chief executive and the NDC chairman brought is different from this.
And the EC officials accepted?
Well, at the lower level, at the registration center, when the DCE comes to park his Land Cruiser and gets out and brings the material, the tendency is that the registration officer at the polling station could be intimidated into accepting it. He can even be confused as to whether he can actually receive some such material from the DCE. But due to the vigilance of the MPP polling agents, because we took our time to properly train them on what the do's and don'ts are of the biometric registration, they alerted the registration officials that no, you cannot accept supplies from any other source than the Electoral Commission. So when we arrived on the scene, I asked the DC, but these supplies that you have brought, where did you get them? Did you get them from? Did the EC give these supplies to you to give to us? He said no, they went into Togo to procure them. I'm like, do you understand what you're saying? That you went into Togo to procure our registration materials and you are distributing it, so we were not going to accept that those materials were going to be used. In front of everybody, the NDC constituency chairman threatened me that they were going to teach me a lesson and that I was beginning to get out of hand. I went to report the matter to the police. As I speak now, I'm told by the district commander of police that investigations have commenced into that report that I made to the police. He again threatened that our agent who blew the cover on all of the matter was going to be taught a lesson. And lo and behold, the next day, macho men came to the registration center. They just asked, who is the MPP polling agent? We didn't know what was happening. So the gentleman was pointed out by one of the registration officers. They just walked up to him, they beat him to pulps, they stabbed him on the head.
Right there
at the polling station. They beat the gentleman to pulps. His name is Emmanuel Ablima. I am talking to you about the LAJSS polling station at Fiagbedu in Georgia. They beat the gentleman to pulps and stabbed him on the head. We rushed him to the hospital. He was detained. It was only on Monday. This issue happened on Sunday. He was released from hospital on Monday.
And so the police were there?
The police was not there at the time of the incidents.
Okay.
But when we lodged the complaint, and it was so terrifying that even the registration officials on the police station, at that police registration center, packed equipment and left. They said they didn't feel safe. So they actually abandoned duty for about 3-4 hours. They could only come back when there was a police reinforcement. Now a policeman was now stationed at that police station, and it was an arm-bearing policeman was now stationed at that police station. Only then could work resume at that polling station.
So you are inferring that the threat by the NDC chairman in the company of the DC is what was effected
was actually carried out.
The agent.
Yes, it was carried out because it's a serious matter. And they went around some other polling stations to distribute these materials, and they were going to use it. And you see, Wabi, I am alarmed because maybe this only exposes something they are doing that we are not even aware of, because we have evidence that they actually do have registration materials in their possession. And they brought it out.
Is that the same situation in Ketu South? Registration materials flying about?
No, not exactly. Not one that I know about. Nothing of that nature is happening in the Ketu South. But I was briefed about what happened in Ketu North.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, YB, to start with, I would like to call on the MPP party to take a special look at Ketu South and North at the last batch of our registration.
Okay.
Because, you know, Ketu South is sharing a boundary with a capital city of a country.
Yes.
And the population there is very huge. And we have about 28 unapproved routes, just walking paths from Ghana into Togo and vice versa. So anybody at all can walk from Ghana into Togo and then from Togo into Ghana. That's number one. The number two, my deputy was here last week.
Yeah.
He spoke about these national health insurance cards that are being doled out to foreigners in the full glare of our eyes. They will take, they actually started by using a promotion, a special promotion by the scheme.
Yes.
Then we took it up. We have about 4 radio stations in the Ketu district. And 3 out of the 4 are involved in political issues. So any time that we hear something, we blow it up on air. So the moment we blew it, then the scheme took out the promotion. Then they brought in the NDC party activist who now carries camera going over polling station to another polling station, which are very near to the border, taking pictures and collecting data that is transferred to the scheme for ID cards to be made.
Interesting. I think that is very interesting. Let me take our first break. I want that to be thoroughly examined, how that works. Viewing the biometric registration exercise in certain parts of the Volta region, and you have with me tonight Honorable Petit Haliga, who is the Ketu South Constituency Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, as well as Pius Enam Hatide, who is the MPP parliamentary candidate for Ketu North Constituency. But Petit was just describing a process to us. these NHIS cards are needed as identification before you can register.
Exactly.
Please go over what you were telling us.
Yeah. You know, the CI-17 has told us clearly the documents that you can use to enable you register.
The CI-72.
72. Thank you. And out of all these documents, it is only the National Health Insurance card that can be accessed easily.
Okay.
So our NDC friends in K2SAF realize that they can process these ID cards for the Togolese quickly, for them to come and register. I'm saying Togolese because I live along the border.
Okay.
And we know where they come from to register for this particular exercise that is going on now.
I see.
What is happening is that the NDC executives, they have a camera, a digital camera. Then there will be one person taking the data, that's age, whatever, the data of the person.
Yes.
Then one with the camera will take the camera in that order. They will hide themselves in a house. And then they will send some of their members to Togo to inform the Togolese that this is what is going on in this house. Then they will start bringing them one by one, one by one. And I'm saying all this because I caught them real-handed myself. I was, you know, they are very strategic because we in the NPP are very few in that constituency. We are now trying hard to come up. So they are always a step ahead. Before we know that they are here, they move. So we were timing them up till one very good afternoon that somebody called me that this is what is happening here in Human Agoruman. It's a community which is about 100 meters away from the border. A particular house, house number ANB 871. I got into the house. I saw what was happening. Before I entered the house, I went to the border on the beat, and I saw people coming. So I started interviewing them, talking to them. Oh, okay, how? Are you coming to do the card? They say we should come and do the card and register. Is that so? So okay. So where? Is it that house? They continue piling by. Then somewhere around the night, they started returning. So I approached one of the Togolese. Have you finished? They say, yes. I say, why are you coming for the card? They say, Monday. You should come Monday. I say, okay. Then I drove to the house. Then I entered. The guy who was taking the pictures knows me very well. I say, oh, Honorable, how? I say, fine. He said, what are you doing here? I say, we are doing health insurance. Are you working with the health insurance scheme? He said, no. Then who sent you? Then he mentioned one Koku Abusa, who is the world chairman of NDC in one of the polling stations. That he sent him. Is that so?
But is he, that person, part of the NHIS?
No.
He is not either.
No. So all that they are doing now is that they take the data, take the pictures serially, and then they send it to
the NHIS office. So what you have is a situation where the NHIS offices have outsourced the data collection for the card to the NDC.
Exactly.
So NDC operatives are taking pictures and data and sending it back to the NHIS office for cards, which the NDC will then distribute to the people.
Exactly.
With which card you come and register.
Exactly. So if you go to the police station, you will see clearly that this is a foreigner. But he or she is holding the national ID. That was not the only place that we got them. We changed them to another place called La Camionette, which is very near to the border. They were doing the same thing there. So I would also like to add another dimension. You see, they've recruited some assembly members in the community. they will enter Togo and then organize the people and tell them that this card that they are doing, this national, this voters ID card,
yes,
is for crossing of the border. Because the problem the Togolese have is that whenever they are crossing, the immigration do disturb them for their documents,
yes,
traveling documents.
yes.
So this strategy has been sent into Togo. So anybody who is the Togolese that travels and always faces that problem,
we want to get the card.
want to get a card. So now in this country, we can sell our nationality to other people just for 5,000 CFA. We are even giving it for free and then adding money, because before they come, they have to take 5,000 CFA before coming. And these assembly members position motorbikes. You have two particular assembly members. The one from Oji Agbogboma is called Gakli. And then one from Yama called Paul Geli. They go into Togo, mobilize the people, go there with the 5,000 CFA. Then you come to Ghana, take our nationality free, and you are giving money in addition.
5,000 CFA each.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wabi, let's not get confused. These are not fairy tales.
Yes.
You sit behind your TV and listen to it, and you think that no normal human being or no serious government or no country-loving political party will want to do these things. But these are truths that are being told. That when Ghanaians are being called upon to contribute small into what we are calling the national health insurance,
Yes.
we allow all nationals of other countries to be able to access it just because we want to perpetuate our stay in power. Ghanaians are paying for it. But the NDC government and the party can allow people from other countries to come and use it just because they want to perpetuate themselves in power. I don't know if the camera can pick this. This is a voter ID card. It was just made by somebody from Togo. And this was to be sure that the allegations that we are making, we want to give it evidence. So we had this boy infiltrate them.
Okay.
He has registered. He was the health insurance card was done for him. He used it and he registered, but he's not Ghanaian.
A Togolese who
Exactly.
has infiltrated the scheme.
That's right.
And has successfully
That's right.
received a voter
That's
ID
right.
card.
That's right.
Based on a newly issued NHIS
That's
card.
right. Another Togolese in the Buem constituency, he was arrested. Actually, he was and he confessed it. But how could you have registered if you are not Ghanaian? He said, well, they came into Togo and told us that we could come and access the National Health Insurance card, and I did. His name is Wasi Komla. He registered at the LAGSS Baglo Odumasi. His ID number is 2645011947. So these are things that are happening
How
seriously.
widespread is it? Because I received information that the immigration officers who had actually been bold enough to turn people back at the border had been summoned to Accra for questioning.
That's right.
So it's widespread.
It is.
What numbers
Why?
are we looking at?
There's
Along the entire border, or it's just confined to the southern and
Well,
we are talking about Buem. Buem is to the north.
Yes, but that's also a border constituency.
That's right.
So the thing is that there's a major scheme on the ground, but the extent to which they are successful, I can report that they are meeting stiff opposition from the NPP. We are not sitting down unconcerned, and that is why 4 days ago, on the 22nd of April, the national chairman of the NDC, Dr. Kwabena had to move into the region.
Really?
Yes, and they had a meeting in Nkwanta. All party gurus, constituency chairmen, their secretaries and organizers. Now the operation is that let us beat the NPP agents and let's put the fear of the Asumdwe Hini in them.
We should be beaten.
That's right.
Whilst trying to protect the ballot.
Right.
In order that the election can be stolen.
That's right. And so on that same day, he himself went to one polling station, Kui DA Primary School. That polling station that Dr. Kwabena Dufo himself visited.
Dr.
Kwabena J himself visited. Immediately he left, our two agents, Daniel Brunya and the constituency communication director of communications, Stephen Obechebi, they were beaten to pulps and sacked from the registration center. So for the rest of the day, there was no MPP polling agent at that registration center.
And registration continued.
And registration continued. The matter was reported to the police.
At the point when they were being beaten, there was no police.
There was no police.
Well, the IGP has just had, what do you call it today? A press release. Interaction, actually, with several people, not just the media. It was an open situation. And tonight, I think from the things that are being said here, it's likely that we'll have to make an SOS call to the police headquarters in order to reinforce security in the Volta region. Pius, you're contending that there's a grand plan, yes, where, first of all, actually the plan unfolded from the emergency announcement of the special deal on the NHIS cards. Now, that depends on being able to infiltrate a whole number of foreigners into the country. Now, apparently that is not going too well. So now, to ensure that it does go as well as it's planned, you think that there's a concerted plan to instill the fear of the Asumdwe Hini in MPP agents through beatings,
that's right,
physical assaults,
that's right,
attack.
That's right.
His Excellency the President was in the Ketu
was in
South constituency. And he's left, and the chairman of the NDC has come into Nkwanta.
That's right.
And you are seeing a pattern of violence. This is what you are telling us.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And that is why I would associate myself with my brother's call that the party should take a critical look at the last phase of registration. What they have tried to do, getting to the tail end of the third phase, is to begin to indicate that they are going to be brutal, violently brutal, or brutally violent during this last phase.
Okay.
So we need to prepare ourselves. Can you imagine, YB, that the NDC in its stronghold positions at the polling station not one, not two, between 6 and 10 polling agents? Can you imagine? Now, for the fourth batch, the number has been increased from 6 to 12, 15.
It is illegal.
Yes. They will tell you that they will tell you that they have 2 agents and that they want the other people to be going from various houses, getting people out. It means that those people should not be at the polling station. But you have a situation where there is a group of about between 6 and 10, 12 young men who claim that they are NDC agents, and they actually get involved in the registration process. They actually do. And this is supposed to already send signals and intimidate any other agents.
That's right.
That, well, if you joke, we have a certain squad on standby that can deal with you. And this happened again. Wajekope at Unsuta. Eric Hodonu is our agent. A minor came, tried to register. The gentleman did not even speak with the minor. He just approached the registration officer and signaled to him that he intended to challenge the eligibility of the prospective applicant. That alone was enough reasons why this young man, Eric, was brutalized. He was also hospitalized. So, seriously, we should take the last phase for granted. We shouldn't take it for granted at all. Look, YB, it got to the stage where in my district, the district chief executive dispatched a bus belonging to the district assembly into Togo to bring in people. Luckily for us, the bus was intercepted by the Togolese security at the Ghana-Togo border at Bagbe. And the occupants of the bus were arrested. 2 Ghanaians, the driver and his assistant went with him. They were arrested. They slept in Togo police cells. And the next day, the DCE sent a delegation to negotiate their release. A bus belonging to the district assembly went into Togo to bring foreigners. This is how serious the scheme is.
Petit, you also have widespread organized violence?
That is what I started by calling on the party. YB, do you know the Agenda 2012?
Club. Oh, yes.
It's not decentralized.
They've decentralized
It's a decentralized agenda. In the sense that, in that document, they were targeting some people at the national.
Yeah.
This time round, they are going for those of us who are making things difficult for them in their stronghold. That is what nearly happened to my colleague in Georgia. And it even happened to me in a village called Huraba. That, if not for God, I would have had it tough. Within 5 minutes, I was surrounded by 20, 30 thugs. Just for telling my polling agents to challenge somebody. You see, what is going to happen at the last stage is that, as my brother said, they don't want you to challenge because they know the amount of money they are spending now. They will not have that same amount to go and bring the people to come and meet the committee if they are to defend the challenge.
Yes. Yes, well, if they are challenged, they don't complete the process.
They don't complete.
You don't get your car.
That's right.
So now they have cash that they are spending. So it means if you challenge the person, then on the day of that meeting, then the person has to come again. But they don't know, they don't even know where the people are. They just have agents who goes in there to organize. In our place, Gong was beaten at Togo Port, the port of Lomé. Gong was beaten that people should come to Ghana and register.
That's right.
So, because they are spending a lot, they don't want you to challenge the people. So, the person, if you want to challenge, then it means you are a hindrance to them and you must be eliminated. And if you look at the figures in K2 South, it started from 39,000. It came to 33,000. And the third phase now is 27. And surely the last phase will be somewhere 15,000 thereabout. But what they plan to do now is that they set a target for them that they must hit 150,000.
What was the previous number on the register?
The previous number was 118,000.
Which was already bloated.
It was a bloated figure. So to make for this bloated register, they are bringing in the foreigners in droves. Let's go to, if you go to Akan constituency, there is a place called Obuasi. As at this morning, there was a bus load of about 2,000 Togolese. Each was given 30 Ghana and a cutlass.
To register in Akan?
To register
which
in
is
Akan
one of
in
the
surrounding areas.
Okay.
They will Bando and all
They'll
other
distribute
areas.
them.
They will distribute them.
So they bring them in, give them their money and a cutlasses or whatever other
Exactly.
things, and then they distribute them
That's right.
to
To various places.
polling stations.
You see, this is what is going on. And if you want to challenge, that is where they have the problem. You see, we have everything, every opportunity to challenge. But if you want to challenge, then they come
use
with
force.
Those other 10 supporting groups. On Sunday, this happened at the police station in Aflau called Abakoma police station. This ex-serviceman, who is a very strong man, our agent, he was there. You see, the people are very smart. If even you want to challenge, and the card is passing through the process, and it reaches the last stage, if you don't take time, the person who takes the picture will just give the card to the person to run away with. So your challenge form becomes.
So the officers themselves are complicit in the process.
Aiding and abetting. In Ketusaf, if you are able to register 150 people a day, you get bonus of 30 Ghana. If you register 200, you get 40 Ghana.
From
NDC.
And they
each one of
them.
you in the team, every team has 6 operatives. You know that.
Electoral officers,
yes,
employed by the Electoral Commission.
That's right.
Are giving bonuses.
That's right.
By the NDC.
Exactly.
For registering a targeted number of people.
That's for hitting the target.
Every day.
Every day. So you see that the guys on the machine, they do everything so fast that they can hit that target. Back to the gentleman at Abakoma. Knowing very well that if they allow the process to be completed, they will give the card to the guy. He will follow the guy up to the end of the process. Then, when the guy was about to hand over the card, he collected the card, wanted to give it to the registration officer, the arrow. All of a sudden, this guy pounced on our agent.
The one who was supposed to be receiving the card.
Yeah.
He himself pounced on the agent.
He was motivated by the actions of the NDC agents there.
Yes.
They encouraged him to do that.
Yeah.
In fact, this old man, the regional of 59, was really battered last week. Seriously, they strangled his neck almost at the point of death. So this man, I have to let this man go to the police station. He went for a medical form. He went to the hospital. And we told the police that this case, as for this case, it must go to court. And as at yesterday, we were in court, and the guy was granted bail, the tune of 1,000 Ghana. So we will be going back next week. That is what is going to happen. And during the last phase, once again, I'm making an appeal. They are coming out to intimidate us. That is the plan.
We have in the Volta region 7 constituencies along the border with Togo. And from what we know from the last time, Monday, when we met another group of people involved in the registration exercise on behalf of the MPP in Togo, in Ghana along the border, here in the studio, and today from what we've heard again, it is clear that there's an organized conspiracy, a grand plan to infiltrate the electoral register of Ghana with as many people as possible in order to win an electoral advantage along those constituencies where it's porous and you can walk in and out. Togo, Ghana, too. Now, apparently, given the resistance of MPP agents, in the last phase now, what is contemplated is organized and state-sponsored violence. Organized state-sponsored violence. We, I believe, are going to complain formally and officially to the police administration to ensure that our agents in the Volta region are protected, because we are going to ensure that the registration is done freely and fairly. The MPP is not going to abandon the polling stations in the Volta region. We are going to police those polling stations, and we are going to ensure that the right thing is done. Is there a concerted and grand conspiracy to infiltrate all the border constituencies in order to bloat the electoral register? But if so, question, on the day of voting, how are all these people who don't live within the territorial lines of Ghana permanently going to vote? Are they going to stream across the border? And if that is not the case, then of course, all those who expect that they are going to... Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
This is Nuruddin.
Yeah, Nuruddin, you're live worldwide.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Yao.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking that following the issue of Kennedy, I think the party, we are not filing back. But this afternoon was yesterday, following what the NDC, the general secretary was saying, certain situations where we have cited people to go violent. Meanwhile, he himself has declared war. Now, is it that we are filing back to allow them to criticize us? No, we are not filing back. We are going to take them on. So what is happening at Volta region? Sure, I'm sure if what the IGP also said today is going to work, then he should send his men quickly before we NPP tell them to do something at Volta region. Look at what is happening in Asante region. They send more policemen. Now, why not Asante region? People are moving from the borderline to come and register in Ghana. The president, you are looking. The IGP, you are there. Why? Now you are saying NPP should not complain. What are we going to do? This country, is it only for NPP? People should come out and talk, because the civil society and everything have condemned what Kennedy said. They have gone ahead to condemn what everything. And we have agreed that we have also condemned Kennedy. But we are not going to quell that because...
I've lost Nuruddin. Jonathan. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Yao.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Zayore.
Naba.
Yes, this evening, as you know, Bongo Naba, Madam Diana Bouya, and Honorable Joseph Kalboha are watching this program and they agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see Honorable and my dear brother coming from the Volta region. What they are saying is we are not surprised about it. It's also happening in Bongo here. And it's a word, I hope the IGP and the Interior Minister is watching this program. If they are watching this program, they should put up measures, or else it is this time that we will rise up as young patrons of NPP. We say we are going to stand against the oppressors. If they are listening, this is, I'm not surprised about it here. If you have a president who will come out and preside over violence, at one breath he will come and say he's invading it, at one breath he will come out and say he's not a policeman to arrest, then these things are not surprised. But yeah, I have a word, or I have two questions for the president. The President Mills told President Kufuor in 2008 that he should arrest the killers of Yana. He should arrest the killers of Issa Mobila. Was President Kufuor a policeman?
No.
So I'm saying those words, we are saying that if President Mills does not stand to tell the full soldiers or the caretakers, the caretakers, he doesn't choose to call them, that they should stop intimidating us. We are also going to rise and do what? And defend ourselves. Because we have far long been intimidated. And we are not going to allow these things to go on. We are going to make sure that we stand against our oppressors. In Bongo here it happened. In Bongo JSS primary, I think I was there last 2 weeks. The EC officer who is known as Santo, he was there. The kind of questions he was asking the people, at the end of the day, disenfranchising people. We are telling them that they should be aware, because we are coming out with full vim in December 27. Thank you very much, Yao.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. I have Michael from Kenya. Hi there. Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm just good. Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a small problem. I think we need to look at it. We will, as Ghanaians, as we are, we will not have to allow people to register because they're not Ghanaians if they're not Ghanaians. But I think we need to do some extra work. We are calling for something we may not even be necessarily knowing of. We are calling for virtually, I think we're also going by your same slogan again, all that the guys programs you're calling on. You're all virtually calling for war songs, you're virtually calling for you not allow. What legal means are we taking to prevent people who are not Ghanaians not to register? Please, let us start educating our polling agents. We will need to educate them. The challenge forms are there, we will need to fill them. Show the challenge form, use the right procedure to do the right thing. It is the best to do. You are not the only Ghanaians living in Ghana. We all love Ghana and want to live in Ghana with peace. Let's use the rule of law. It's there. Let's use it to work. It is working. As Kennedy and Japan has confirmed to us that the police are professionals, your own people. So can't we use the rule to work? Please.
Thank you very much. Haruna.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Oh, I have lost Haruna. Now, assuming on the day of voting, we are verifying by machine, and I believe we are going to carry out verification, and people are unable to come across the border to come and vote. That means all those names on the register will not get to vote. So it is important, I believe, that the Electoral Commission... Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a country.
Kasa.
God, they make a freedom card of him. The messenger say, a quiet bit to me, Abamu. Ama say, Togo ne Ivory Coast for. A bit made on BBR to internet. Nay, I see the account. There's a basket Togo for no. I register. Let's say, Womudi, Eba, now, so Mudi, Womudi ma. Naka time ya the efis ya na ta enye ya na e say ye dunko ase 224 so ho a Togo for baba ha mo be say nsu no ayi gold no ye ka say ye private visa adiki ya unim adiki ukuda no ye ntime ho kwan a mo fa so a electoral officers no edi wo particulars efili bibia maamo ye hunya ne se o madu edi etwa picture no ye nipa e ko chele ya mo se o ya me chele ni o table no hunti no apa ho so on to monam kwan bi so a de wo dwen ho a wonti ase enti mo hwe na mo nya ho bibi man na se be prevent o na December 7th no o ma timi anto aba no.
All right. Gordon is also concerned about registration by Togolese nationals and is wondering whether we don't have an international database where. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Yao.
Yes, sir.
What I want to say is that you see all the allegations the Ketu North and South
are going to be documented. Yes.
Right in Bolga here. It is also happening, but the NDC people are so smart to be capturing what the MPP people are doing. On tapes and cameras. So I think that they should also do the same thing. They cannot just come on the telly to talk with their mouth. How much is a camera that they cannot purchase? They should get cameras, recorders to also do that. And NDC boys are doing the same thing in Bolga here.
Okay.
So why can't we also do that?
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think it's extremely important that the voting day process itself is explained to Ghanaians. What happens if there's a name on the database which cannot be verified? That means that name cannot be used to vote.
That's right.
So if you load the register and on the day that person does not appear at the polling station to verify personally and after verification receive a ballot paper and put it in the box, that person cannot vote.
But YB, you should understand why Asedun Ketia, the General Secretary of the NDC, even before the issue of verification comes up, is opposed to it.
That's right.
And in the Volta region, they tell people, when we tell people that, well, if you come and register and you are Togolese and you can't come and put your finger on the verification machine, there is no way you are going to vote. They tell us that they are told that there will not be any verification. That the idea is that let's just have the figures. And on the day of election, we can get somebody to come and vote even for and on behalf of these people if they don't come. But if the figures are not registered on the poll book, then you cannot even ask somebody to vote twice or thrice. So it is important that we insist on the verification. I'm happy that the discussions are far advanced. I mean, we have gone through the stage where money
discussions. It's confirmed.
That's right.
There is going to be electronic verification.
That's right.
That is what we have been told by the Electoral Commission. It was in the budget.
That's
the whole world has been told by the Electoral Commissioner that there is going to be verification.
So we must resist any attempt by the NDC to send us back, because I am aware that they intend to not to use the verification, because if they do, then these people all will not come and vote. But if they don't, then they can find ways of stuffing the ballot boxes. But again, let me assure my colleague who spoke that we are taking steps to document all of this.
Well,
we are not just leaving it at that.
As for the way we'll carry the information forward, I think it's within our jurisdiction. We'll package it effectively and we'll use it to demonstrate our difficulties in the region. Yes, so I guess he was advising and we will take it up. But we know exactly what we are going to do with this information. The important thing is that it is clear that there is organized violence.
That's right.
aimed at stopping MPP agents from monitoring and probably ensuring that the right thing is done at polling stations.
But why,
in the Volta.
do you ask yourself what is treasonable? What is treasonable?
Well, 30 seconds.
What is treasonable? In my estimation, any Ghanaian government that allows foreigners to take over the decision-making process, the power to elect MPs and presidents, that is treason. So it is the NDC government and its operatives that are guilty of treason.
Petit, you have a different for treason, or maybe you define terrorism. 30 seconds.
I share his view. But what is most crucial is that whilst in other countries, even getting access to a birth certificate is so difficult, we in Ghana will stoop so low and then go outside this country, bring people in to come and take our birth rights.
For electoral purposes.
For electoral purposes.
Well, the story has been told. We are going to continue telling the story. We are compiling the evidence. We are going to make it available to the public authorities in charge of this election, law enforcement officers. What is going on is real. There's organized means of trying to bloat the register. And those who are trying to ensure that it doesn't happen are being attacked physically.